Right, so on that note, we want to get into your business, right? You already told us some of your business.
Listen, it's all out there now, isn't it?
It's literally all out there now. So,
1, 2, 3, 4. Aunties, get in your business. 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 Oh, God.
You've already told us, but tell us who you are, what you do, and where you're from, fam.
Okay.
I don't know. Sometimes it comes out.
So my name is Ro. I'm one half of TwoTwos Podcast, and I use she, they pronouns. The they is for strangers, but you guys aren't strangers, so you can call me she.
Okay.
And what do I do? What do I do apart from doing the podcast? Okay, so I found of the Black LGBT Therapy Fund, where in 2020 I raised 90k to fund therapy for Black queer people.
Wow.
So, yeah, so before that I was working the trains, but I had to give up because I didn't have enough time to do the therapy thing.
Of course.
So that also, I'm a writer as well, written articles for British Vogue, for Bustle, and some other publications.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm somebody's mum, innit? Yeah.
And just quickly, how did you get into podcasting?
Okay, so first we started off with YouTube, and we just used to talk too much. You know, on YouTube, like we had a camera in front of us in my bedroom, and we just used to talk bears. And also, if you look where we started, and eventually we used to like dress up, look nice. Eventually, I just run out of bed because we was literally sitting on my bed to do the videos, and you can see that I just rolled out of bed to record this. So so we just thought, you know what, it's not working out. Let's do a podcast, and then we went to a party, and this girl was like, oh, I just know this new studio opening up next week.
Nice.
Literally the following week you had a podcast, and that was in 2019. And yeah, we're still going. Yeah.
Nice. Where are you from?
I'm Ghanaian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Fine.
Where in London are you from?
Hackney.
Oh, look at
Hackney,
that.
babe.
I take it back.
I thought you were south for some reason.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What do you mean?
Absolutely not.
It's real.
The proper East London after.
Yeah.
Okay, what has been your blueprint to success when it comes to the TwoTwos Podcast, and how do you two work together?
And who is the other person?
Okay, so my co-host is Nana. She's my best friend, and she's also my neighbour. We live down the road
Brilliant
from
name.
each other.
Perfect name.
Yeah,
Brilliant
Nana.
name.
Yeah.
I'm also a Nana.
Yeah. Nana.
You guys all have the same name.
If she was here, it would have been perfect.
3 Nanas, so we would have done another group.
I'm a lying audience.
And she was meant to come as well, so imagine. But
No.
yeah, I do it with her. She's a writer as well. She writes films, and she's a producer
Nice.
on Bridgerton.
Nice.
Give her a little bit.
Of course. With a name like Nana, of course she's going to be
Yeah,
great.
she's great. She's
Does
great.
well.
She's great.
Absolutely.
We started the podcast we started the podcast and the YouTube because when you go online, everyone that's Black and queer, they're American, and they're just we're just different to Americans. You know what I mean? We're different culture. We're not as cringe.
Wow.
Sorry. And all these things. Yeah. So.
Why did you say that?
Because the American gays, they'll go on YouTube, be dancing and winding their waist, and do you know we're British? Do you know what I'm saying? We have a bit more. We're a bit more stiff-lipped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's not necessarily wrong. It's different.
it's just different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Okay.
So we just wanted to have some representation that represents us, basically. So Nana is actually not a camera person at all. Like, she's very much behind. But because we felt that this is a need, that's why she puts herself on the camera. I'm a Libra, so I love it all. So yeah, you know. And
What's our son's Nana?
she's Scorpio.
She's a gangster. Nana and a Scorpio. Nana, bro, you should be here, man.
I know. But yeah, that's why we started the podcast. And I would say, like, so maybe some of our biggest achievements, we did London Podcast Festival twice. For a live show, and
well done.
Yeah, thank you. And I think we always wanted to do a live show, but we didn't really know how to do it. So for it to come to us, we just felt that was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, what else have we done? We've worked with quite a few brands that we've wanted to work with, even like Rocker Hair. I worked with Rocker Hair, like we were talking about, last year, and. Yeah, we just love it all. We love it.
Yeah.
And also, I think as individuals as well, we've become into ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
I would say that before, maybe we were a bit more reserved, a bit more shy, but I think we've definitely come into ourselves and come into who we are as people as well. And, you know, we've shared that on a platform, so love it.
Nice.
Has there been like an increase in other podcasters with you guys like being the trailblazers? Has there been other people that are like, actually, I want
Copying you, basically.
Oh, adding to the community, it's building, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was one before us.
Yeah.
And they started like a couple months before us, and so they were there first, and then it was ours. But since then, there have been quite a few, but there still isn't that many.
Yeah,
but there's been a few since. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so I want to get into your journey as a mother. I was thinking of, what do I not know? I don't have many queer friends, so the questions that I wanted to know from you. So if it's ignorant, I'm sorry. But is there like a chat, like the Black chat? Is there a similar chat that you would have with your child to be like, this is who I am and my partner is going to be another woman? Like, is that an ongoing thing? Or is it something that isn't done?
In the beginning, no, because this is just who I always was to her. She didn't know like that I was gay or anything like that. It was just, but she knew that I dated women, but she didn't know there was a name for it. She just, it is what it is. And so that's how it was in the beginning. And then we went to the BLM marches after George Floyd, and then we had Black Queer Lives Matter, Black LGBTQ Lives Matter on our placards. And she was like, what is this? Like, why have you got all this in between the black and the people? And I was like, okay, tomorrow we'll have a chat about that tomorrow. The next day came, and I told her what each letter meant.
Right.
And I told her, like, I'm the L. And she was like, oh, so it's a thing. So for her, then she started to realise that it's a thing because some people don't accept it. She's like, why does it have to be an other? She started asking questions about why is there an other? Why do it have to be labelled? But like, why can't you just be? Because that's how she always understood it. And then I think she was about in year 5 then, so she wants to be like 9 or something. And as time has gone on, she's now on TikTok and things like that, so she sees it all on there now, but she just doesn't really see it as a thing. Like, to her, it just is, do you know what I mean? She doesn't really think it's a thing. But we had to have a conversation. I would say the trans conversation, she was very confused about the trans conversation. She didn't really understand all of that and non-binary. But I think as she's gotten a little bit older, she has asked questions like, hold on, so someone's a trans man because they went from being a woman to a man. So she can kind of get it together now, but she doesn't understand the process, how they got there. Right.
Okay, you are the founder of the LGBTQIA Plus Therapy Fund. Please explain why this fund was necessary and why you launched it.
It's because everyone was depressed in lockdown. Do you know what I mean? So I was down and out. I was depressed. All of that.
Down and out.
Yeah, and I thought if I'm down and out, someone else has done that too. And I remember there was a lot of like initiatives, like new initiatives that were coming up to help people gain access to therapy and things like that. But there wasn't really anything for queer people, especially black queer people. And I know that black queer people, a lot of times, they don't really have access to things because a lot of them are homeless, a lot of them don't have money or jobs and stuff like that. So I thought that I would raise £1,000 and give to 2 people to get therapy. And I literally started it. I drove to Birmingham. By the time I got to Birmingham, it was on like 16k or something like that. Wow. And I was like, whoa, what is going on here? And then I remember Aloni messaging me and she was like, I think you need to increase the goal here. So I remember like, as the weeks were gone, it was for the whole of June I put it up for. As the weeks went on, I just kept on increasing it, and like loads of people were just sharing it, and it made me realise like how much of a need that there actually was for it. Because our thing was that we're gonna also help them with black queer therapists, and even till this day everyone always messages me like, can you recommend some black queer therapists? They can never find a black queer therapist. And even till when I started that till now, I've only ever found 2 black trans therapists in the whole of the UK. I have not found any out of the 2. So, and when you do find them, because there's not many of them, there's a long waiting list. So just waiting forever. So that's what.
How did people get access to the funds? What was the process?
So the process was I had like a Google form. People had to apply that way, and we just went through. But we tried to give priority to people who hadn't had therapy before and people who were on low incomes. So they were the priority, and then after that, then we just matched them with therapists. If they said wanted a woman, if they wanted a man, a trans person, if they didn't mind if they were not queer, because again there's not that many queer ones as well, so we don't want people to be waiting for so long. But some people have been waiting for long because they can't get what they actually want out of it. So that was the process. So
this is ongoing now?
This is ongoing. It's probably going to end a bit soon though. It's probably going to end soon because I just want to go back to 9 to 5. You know
I have a question, but it's maybe a little controversial. I don't know actually, kind of thing. But and so if I'm not phrasing it correctly and stuff, but I feel like when we see like gay issues in like the public forum, it's often led by gay men, and I wondered like, is us seeing that, is that a true reflection? Is that just what we see on social media? Do you feel like, you know, gay women's voices are being drowned out? Are they being heard? Because as, you know, heterosexual women, our voices aren't heard as much. So we assume that probably is the case with...
I would say it's the same. It's the same with like hetero women. Like there's always patriarchy and all that stuff, and black gay men do benefit from that, even though they're gay as well, and they're still men. Do you know what I mean? They're always gonna have that more access than women do and things. So I think that's the case. But it's funny because like in my algorithm, for example, if I go on social media, gay men are barely in it. My algorithm is just lesbians and bisexual women. They're barely there. I probably have like trans men more than like cis men in my algorithm. And they do, and they are main characters as well.
Well, it feels like that.
They love themselves.
Exactly the way.
What we're doing, let me speak to myself. What I'm doing now, because I have someone from the LGBTQIA community here, I'm going to ask all the questions.
Go for it.
Because like you represent everybody. Right?
So does it feel like that sometimes?
Does it feel like that? And do you mind?
No, do you know? I don't mind, and it does feel like, even in like my personal friends, all my guy friends who are straight, or even all of them, they'll see something random and message me and be like, what's it? Sometimes I don't even know what they're talking about. Like, I don't even know, but I still answer it the best I can anyway. So
I mean, we in our day-to-day life, we get asked as black women to be, but it's just sometimes you know we can all be what's the word? Stereotyping and and ignorant to things.
I think sometimes with LGBT you can get some like kind of weird questions, or might be phrased a bit weird, but I always look at intention. If the person is not intending to be rude, then I don't take offense. But you always know when someone is trying to be rude. You always know. It's like being a black woman. You always know when someone's trying.
When they're trying to be a little bit sly, and it's like, okay, I see you.
So what are some? So what are some of the most frustrating assumptions and misconceptions about your community that come from especially straight people? That just like, come on guys, do better.
I think it's this from mainly the black community, that because we're queer we have more rights than what black people do. Just like, but the thing is, I'm black and I'm queer. Do you know what I mean?
Wait,
and
more rights?
So like
I will expand on that, because I think that it seems and it appears, and this is again from a very straight perspective of speaking to other people, that if you were to say, I've got a black thing and I want to do a black thing and raise money for a black thing, there'll be that response. You put queer in front of it, there's another response that has wider, faster, quicker support, especially from those in the white perspective. So that is why some black people are like...
I would say even raising the money, a lot of white people... You know what I mean? A lot of white guilt was really guilting at the time. So a lot of them did donate money. A lot of them, they shared it on their platforms and things like that. Even when we do like little corporate partnerships and stuff like that with TwoTwos, a lot of the times it's because they need to tick that box. We're black and we're queer, so they could just tick it ASAP. They could do quickly kind of thing. So there's that. But then even outside of like whatever white people can gain from what we're doing, we don't have no access to that. Do you know what I mean? We don't have no access to all of that. And at the same time, we are black and queer, so a lot of times our blackness erases whatever our queerness is. So if we walk into a room and as a masculine presenting woman, if you walk into a room, there's lots of like just loads of different people. To be honest, a lot of times it's the black people that turn their back first, and then it will be like the black men, and white men, and then white women are still standing in front of us, but then they eventually, what they wearing kind of thing. So I think that as much as it's the case, we still have our struggles. We don't gain the same way like white men, definitely not the same way like white men gain. If you go to London Pride, you barely see black people at London Pride. It's just
So what is the why do you think there's this magnifying glass on the black gay community from black people? What is your opinion, your experience, the sensitivity or discomfort? Because I put it down to religion, one of the main issues, apart from anything, and then masculinity is black male pride is
I think even the religion part. I think I grew up as a Mormon. And
excuse me.
I grew up
can you stop and start again,
please?
Tell us about your religion, bro.
So I grew up as a Mormon. I was born into the Mormon faith.
Why?
Is
there a big Mormon community in Ghana?
Yeah, girl. There's a whole temple,
missionaries, right?
There's missionaries. And
You know,
yeah,
I love Mormon drama shows.
So do I.
I'm freaking
I do.
obsessed.
I've never heard of this. So Mormons, okay.
yeah. So I grew up in the Mormon church. So like in the church I was in, there was a lot of like Ghanaians, Nigerians, people from West Indies. There was like lots of black people in my church. Yeah.
Yeah, in London.
Yeah. They call it wards. So each church is called a ward.
Okay.
So I used to go to the one in Leighton. And
And do
there's one
what?
at Upton Park.
I'm
there's
so
one in
fascinated.
Stratford.
Really? So
Just
dramatic.
they're everywhere. They're
What did you
everywhere.
do? Just do
Go
you
to church
have to
and
wear
eat.
like all?
Well, I had to wear women have to wear skirts or dresses on
Yeah.
Sundays.
Long ones.
Yeah,
To be
long
fair,
ones. I think it can be a bit cultish.
Yeah.
Especially in Ohio. That's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
cultish there. They have like lots of wives
Lake
and stuff
City.
like that.
Yes.
Salt Lake City, yeah. And
Why did you say it like
So
But
being
yeah.
brought up in it, like, so is it just very strict Christianity?
do you know what? I think because it was what I knew at the time, it wasn't strict
wasn't
to me.
strict.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just like a massive family. And
Yeah.
the only reason why we left the church is because it started to not feel like family, and that's why we left.
Okay.
So,
So the whole
yeah.
family were like, no.
Was it just
Your
more
mum,
people
your
coming
mum,
in?
okay.
Yeah.
No, it was. I think my mum. I don't know what mum was going through. I don't know if she was going through something, and she just felt like the church wasn't there for her.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And she was always. My mum was like the Sunday school teacher. Like she was
Oh,
really
wow.
present in the church.
Yeah.
So when they weren't there for her, she just felt like this is not what the
It's
church
not
values are meant to be. So
Did you have to
know.
take? Is it the sacrament or something?
Yeah,
Did
sacrament
you have
every
to-
Sunday. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that was like, it's like in Catholic church when they take
Yeah.
the
The
waffle.
body of Christ.
Yeah,
but
the
you
body
can
of
be
Christ.
shunned from that, right? So like if you do something, I can't remember. Like
Yeah.
if you do.
You're not-
something wrong,
you're not allowed to
you're
take
not
it.
allowed to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it.
So
You have
everyone's
to
gonna
sit
know
at
you
the
did something
back of
wrong.
the- Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like you have to sit at the back of the church.
Does everybody know that
can't-
you've done something wrong?
But then,
Yeah, so like for example, if someone drank alcohol on the weekend or something, they should know within themselves not to take the sacrament, but so they probably wouldn't. Or I know that some people, if they were like pregnant, they didn't. I don't know why they didn't, but yeah, they didn't. There were lots of different things. There was
Right.
different things. Yeah.
Wow.
So how was it? Were you out of?
why did you? So you left because your mum.
Yeah, we left because but when I was in church, I kind of already knew that I was gay anyway. But
Yeah.
That's
there
what I'm
was
saying.
no like. But there weren't that many teachings around homosexuality in the church. It was
Yeah.
just there was nobody that was gay in church. So I was just
Okay.
thinking this is not something I'm
That
supposed
you
to
knew
be.
of, to be
Yeah,
fair.
that I knew of.
To be fair.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some since, girl. But yes, I feel like with Christianity, I think it's easy to target homosexual people as and be like, this is not black because we're Christian. This is not what we're meant to be. Well, most black people are Christian anyway.
Yeah.
Or even Muslim or whatever it is. And however, everyone's doing their own mad thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's moving mad.
100.
Everyone's doing their own thing. But it's just that it's easy to highlight that because a lot of people don't understand it.
Right.
So if you don't understand something, it's easy just to kind of other it and push it to the side.
Yeah.
How did you come to terms with it when you realised? Okay.
So I'm always new. Like my first sexual experiences were with women and stuff, and then all my friends like gave their life to Christ. I was like, okay, cool. I have to do this too. I got to give my life to Christ as well.
Oh wow.
So I started to go to KICC.
Yeah.
Even though I was a Mormon, and then I
Yeah.
came out of the church, and then now I was in limbo, and then I went to gave my life to Christ. I went to KICC, and then but when I was there, I just found myself just listening to music all the time. I didn't really care about the teachings. I was looking at other
It's
girls
the
in the
vibe.
church, all this stuff. Yeah, and then afterwards, I wanted to know if I was really gay, so I went to go and have sex with a man, and that's when I got pregnant.
Wow.
So one experience.
Yep, that's when I
That's a
got
teaching.
pregnant. It's a teaching.
How did you process
Oh
that?
my word.
Do you know something? I don't know. Something inside me. As soon as it happened, I just knew that I was pregnant straight away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
wow.
something, I just knew
Yes,
straight
you
away.
know what? Yeah.
Within
I
like
think
a
there's a
day.
there's a
shift.
feeling that
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
place,
It's
and it's a
amazing.
bit like I think this has happened.
Yeah. There was something. This child was forming, and
Wow.
But after that,
Were you still religious at that point in time?
yeah, I was religious. I
So
knew
did
from
Did you
church.
think?
Yeah.
So, like, how? Like, wouldn't you? I don't
Because
know.
that was
like,
bad,
Were
isn't
you
it? Yeah.
conflicted between like
Um,
your sexuality and like, okay, now you've got, now you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Religious
Like,
guilt or
I think
anything?
when I got pregnant, I think that I just let go of I stopped going to church. when I
Yeah.
got pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
kind of dropped it out. I was just like, who I am, I can't figure out who I am whilst in this four walls of this
Right.
church and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. So I feel like I needed to kind of remove myself and then realign myself with God again and with who I am as a
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
And so that's what I started to do. But obviously during pregnancy, my hormones were all over the place. My mental health was in the bin and all these things. And yeah, then I had this child. And then when I had her, I looked at her and I thought I would want her to be her authentic self at all times. And So a bit before that, I was kind of saying I was bisexual, but I knew that I wasn't bisexual.
Okay.
And then I just came out after I had her. I was like, I need to come out. If I want to tell her to be herself, I'm going to have to come out. So I told my mom.
How was your mom?
Eventually. Oh, mom kicked me out of the house. She was not. She was not in it. She kicked me out of the house. Now she's great. She's. Yeah. I see her in Facebook comments of people at LGBT saying, "I'm your mom too," and all this stuff. Now she's fine now. Yeah. But at the time, she didn't get it. And even though I had a gay uncle, she was very supportive of him. Yeah. But when it was her child, it was different. Like I guess when you give birth to somebody, you have all these expectations of who they're going to become. Yeah. And I wasn't aligning with what she thought I would be. Yeah. So
obviously not speaking for her, but do you think it was because of what other people thought rather than what she actually thought?
It was definitely that, because after coming out to her, she kicked me out and everything, and then I moved back eventually. And over the years, it was kind of something we never spoke about. And then when we started our YouTube channel, then I put it on my Facebook. I never used to use Facebook, but all of a sudden I put it on Facebook. And a lot of my family members are on Facebook. The ones that live in Ghana, the aunties that don't really know that I'm gay and stuff like that. And then she called me from work and told me to take the video down. And I was like, why? She said, because the aunties are putting it in group chats and stuff. And also I went on there because their sons weren't perfect. And I said, when your son was in the newspaper for stealing from old men, nobody said nothing. So when I said that, then all the aunties knew not to mess with me no more after I said that. And I remember after that happened a couple months later, mum said to me, do you know what, just leave your content there, it's fine. That's who you are, so just leave it. And we went to a wedding. And one of her friends was like, oh, I've used your videos in my class in school. Like, well done, keep it going. And that was the first time I saw mum look at her. She's like, oh. So I think since that, she's just seen, even the first time I went to Ghana as how present day where I am, she told me to go with like female clothes. I was like, be careful, so I don't want you to get hurt. And I was like, no, this is who I am, so this is how I'm going to dress. And she was really worried, but I think when she saw that, she's got herself managed, she's fine. So
do you go back to Ghana regular or?
Yeah, I went to Ghana last year. Yeah.
So I think they've got the law that they're kind of having this kind of conversation. I think my mum brought it up yesterday about LGBTQ rights in Ghana. And there's the conversation about Western influence coming over to impose and not letting
the Ghanaian
black countries essentially figure it out themselves. How do you feel about that conversation? But notwithstanding that, LGBTQ people need rights everywhere. And not to be killed for their love.
I think that conversations were wrong, because if you look before colonialism, there was men with men, women with women. There wasn't even gender. Gender wasn't even a thing before colonialism. Like, it's all there if they actually go in their own history, it's all there. Even like religion, you don't say that Christianity is a Western thing. Like, we had all these fetish priests and stuff like that before slavery, and now we see it as dark magic or black magic and stuff like that. But whereas before it was sacred and was something positive, but because of slavery, they brought us Christianity, and here we are now. And so yes, I would say it's just the same thing. I think it's the same thing. I think if you go back into history, you've allowed white people to erase your memory of things or erase your history into some way. And like, it's always been, LGBT has always been there. It's always been there before the Western came along. It's always been there. But it's even that killed the bill situation. It's crazy.
It's mad that the laws were put in place by the West, and then they've changed, and we would say they've evolved to be more encompassing, that you're going to now go back to a country that you colonialised, put their laws in place, change their minds, and then you're going to now be like, no, but how you're thinking is wrong. It's actually like, I
think that's crazy.
I think it should be left to people to advocate in their own time, but then people, I guess it's the LGBT community from the West that need to go over and do that, not Western people. Mind your own business. But you do need also the support of the West, because that will be the enforcement to... It's mad. It's a mad...
I think it's together, right? Do you know what I mean? It's just having like a global community that kind of like pushes for change.
And I think that law in Ghana won't come into place because it means that they have to change their whole constitution. And that was how Ghana gained their independence in the first place. So they're going to just keep talking, but it's been talking for a while now, and I think so.
I think so.
All right, we're going to do a quick fire round.
Quick fire
round.
Yeah,
okay, your mother. What's been the biggest revelation about yourself and motherhood?
What's been the biggest revelation about myself? I think before I had to, my friends were like, you have to have an abortion because you're not very, they were like, I'm very, very maternal. I'm very maternal. I'm very, very maternal. And I think that came out of me then. And it shows even in my friends, I'm very maternal towards them as well now.
Yeah.
So, I would say that was probably the biggest one for me, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, we're gonna get really in your business. Like, what's your status? Like, are you married, single?
I'm single. I'm single.
There's both in there as well.
Single and in relationship. People.
I'm single. I'm celibate too. I'm single and celibate.
Hey, by choice.
Yeah.
By
By
choice.
choice. No, by choice.
How long for? Can I ask?
How long has it been? You're gonna laugh though.
Don't say
It's
a
been about
week.
6 weeks.
Okay, that's
I
not
was
bad.
going to tell you.
I thought you were going to say a week or something. Okay.
Celibate. So how long is the
That's not-
celibacy going to last?
Okay.
I'm hoping till the end of the year.
Why are you saying hoping?
That's a phase.
That's her aim, isn't it? She's aiming.
hoping.
Do you know what?
Oh, fair enough.
Aiming
Let
till
me
the end of the year.
let me not belittle. Let me
hoping.
not do that. So I'm
hoping.
I've been celibate for 4 years.
Oh, I love that for you.
Yeah, so it's possible.
Why?
It's possible. What do you mean?
No.
The why was because I was thinking the same. Why do you love that for her?
Why do you love that?
Because I'm not going for 4 years, child. But it's willpower. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah,
I
that.
had temptation the other day,
Yeah.
and I overcame. I was really proud of myself.
What was the temptation to do? Like, you.
No, she was there naked. She was naked.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she was
I was thinking.
My year was
okay.
mine up.
She was
So what
really
the
going
tempt-
for it. Yeah.
And
I
you
was
just,
like,
and what did you say?
And you just said no, babe.
Yeah. How did you say no? We need
Put
details
on your
now.
ribs, woman.
And remove yourself.
Yeah, I just said, I was
building.
like, no, like putting the duvet back on her, like, sleep kind of thing.
Oh.
And she was just like, no. She
I
was
wanted-
really going for it for like an hour, and I was just like, no. And then in the end,
That means you didn't really
know
want
what?
her though.
Does she know that you're celibate? Seriously, I'm so like, because the rejection would be like,
I don't think she believed me. I don't think she believed, because I had sex with her
She
before, but I don't think she believed me. And so when she got home, she was like, do you know what? I think you have no issues being celibate. Like, you actually handled the heat very well. So thank you.
oh, wow.
I need. Okay,
Was she an enemy of progress? Was she trying
was
to be an
actually
enemy
in that
of
moment.
progress?
She was, yeah.
The enemy of the
Yeah.
celibacy
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
We could put her on that list. actually.
Yeah.
Add
The
her
little,
to the
little
list.
circle there, like.
Because she kept saying restart it tomorrow. How could you restart
Yeah.
No, that's out of order.
But first of all, hold on. What's your type?
Okay, so I like black.
Okay.
I don't think I have that much of a type. They have to be black. Black.
And then black.
Yeah. If you see everyone all day, they all look different. I think I go for
Okay.
personalities more than looks or
Right.
anything
So
like
what
that.
kind of personalities?
They have to be kind. I don't like women who are like overly dominant though.
Okay.
They have to like nice things like me. Do you know what I mean? They have to have no plaque. I always say that no plaque.
On their teeth.
Yeah. I mean,
Brush your teeth.
No, like sticky plaque. Do you know? Everyone has plaque.
Don't do it. I can't. I was sick. No. She's not.
Everyone always says it.
I literally am like.
On my Instagram, all my
I don't wanna
Instagram
go
know.
into it
I
'cause
talk
I'm
about
gonna
this one more
Right,
time. They all know
okay.
I don't like plaque.
Pretty, feminine.
Yeah, I like feminine, presenting women, like pretty, but pretty subjective. Do you know what I mean? But
Because what I was trying to do is find the perfect to tempt you. I was going to be the enemy.
Was you going
and
to start
send
throwing
somebody to
people?
tempt you.
I'm not giving in.
I think you did well though, because if
Yeah.
a naked person is there,
And
your
they did have a
bed.
nice pussy as well, actually.
I don't know which.
Yeah.
Anyway,
In your
let's move on.
Wow, that's willpower.
I don't know what I've
Can't lie,
resisted.
can't
I
get
don't
to
know.
that.
I don't know when I've said no like that. It's just
and
presenting.
they were trying for an hour.
Yeah, they tried for a
Yeah.
good amount of time. Even I was
Wow.
impressed. I was impressed by her
Well
actually.
Well done.
Was you amused? Were you just laughing?
I wasn't laughing. I was
You fool. You're like, you fool. That's why she
I
wasn't your
couldn't believe
type.
it. I think I couldn't believe it.
Nah, she wasn't your type. I'm going to send
tears
something
were
that
there.
says to you. Don't worry.
Okay. This is a crazy
You
one.
laugh at a child and they're just trying.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's like pushing their head, isn't it? Poor girl. What type of auntie are you?
Oh, I'm the cool auntie. I think I'm the cool auntie. They don't even call me auntie, my nieces and nephews. They're really rude. They just call me by my name.
What?
These days, they're, as we getting older, they have to call me by it. But before, no, they just be calling
Don't
me
tell
by
me
my
your
name.
generation are going to try and stop the
don't try.
titles, you know?
We've already started with your generation.
But
We've got
that's the
things.
question though, because like if you don't like are not feminine or masculine, what do people call you?
I think that's why they call my name.
Right.
Because I've even like 1 or 2 of them, they used to call me uncle before. Because they was when they were really young.
Yeah.
And at the time I had like short hair and I wasn't as curvaceous as I am these days. So I just allowed them. Do you know what I mean? I just allowed them.
I'll be like, oh, you punk.
It was funny at first.
That's actually a really interesting.
Right?
What is the other?
Yeah.
Even if someone was non-binary, I don't know what their nieces and nephews would call them. I don't know.
That's a funny word.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it is
That's
the
actually a
name.
good one. Yeah, I don't know.
Can you tell us secrets that you haven't told your mama or your father?
A secret I haven't told them.
Yeah. Something for your favourite aunties.
Yeah.
Because now we are your favourite aunties.
Yeah,
We
you are.
need a
You are.
whole new secret.
Tell us.
What secret is there? I'm quite open, you know.
There is something that someone doesn't know that we should know.
And that you haven't discussed on your pod.
Yeah, I've stolen
You cheated
before.
on somebody.
Yeah.
What did you steal? Hair.
I sold water balloons when I was young.
You stole water balloons.
Yeah.
For what?
I prayed about it for like 3 years. I say, please God forgive me for stealing those water balloons. For like 3 years, I prayed for
you're good.
Yeah.
But as a Mormon, I can imagine. I probably
Water balloons.
And the thing is, I didn't even want to do it. Some girl made me do it. Do you know what I mean? She was like, I'm going to get this and you get the water balloons.
Did you get caught?
No. I did caught in Primark once, actually. I stole in Primark.
What did you steal?
That's lame.
Pants.
That is really.
Yeah.
And they caught you?
Eat them.
No.
Of all the places to go.
Maybe that could be my secret, actually.
Okay, quickly, just a family saying that you heard growing up that you either wholeheartedly embrace or you reject.
Children must have seen and not heard. I reject.
Go on.
Yeah.
Was that a thing?
Yeah. My grandma said it to my mum said it to us.
Yeah.
And then I had to break that.
Wow.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Cool.